let's go over the waiver response to the evidence spoliation debacle. It's about the Signal auto-delete messages that allegedly happened prior to litigation. So why is that important? It's important because the waiver parties are saying, like, we did not need to preserve messages from this period because we were not anticipating litigation. Lively had tried to make the argument that her 17-point list from 2023 constituted notice that something might be coming years later. Clearly, I don't believe that. I mean, and then they did the 17-point list to deter litigation because that's what it said to do, which is literally part of the argument they make in this. Also, the PR people were not part of this 17-point list. So all of that is in here and part of the wayfarer's argument. And part of this too is, like, these sanctions are not personal, right? Like, she just makes this overarching theme on all 8 of them, but, like, you need to point to, like, independent conduct. You can't just, like, have a blanket response that's like all 8 of the defendants auto-deleted, intentionally auto-deleted, pre-litigation Signal messages. And they did so intentionally to not pass over evidence that they were anticipating was going to be an issue in litigation that had not been filed yet. And it doesn't sound like there was, like, a preservation notice that was issued, because all she talks about is that stupid letter from 2023. It's like the 17-point list, or however many points. I can never freaking remember. So yeah, the waiver party's like, you need to go defendant by defendant, which you didn't do. And Lively even admits that it's unclear if all the defendants even used Signal prior to December 20th. They also draw a line, too, between the 2023 letter and, like, the harassment discrimination claims and this, like, alleged digital smear campaign that's from August of 2024 through, what does she consider at present? Lively also tries to make this argument that just, like, the use of Signal alone meant that there must have been messages that existed and were thus deleted. And she infers intent, which is also needed. Like, in order to have spoliation, you have to say that the person deleted evidence that they intended to hide from the litigation effectively. And it's like, no. And Lively can't actually point to, like, a known Signal thread that was thus deleted. They also talk about, like, Lively's own admissions that says she has substantial evidence, but then also needs this evidence that like, was possibly deleted to prove her case. And they're like, on the first page of Lively's motion, she literally says she has substantial evidence that the retaliatory campaign was, in fact, implemented as planned. And so then they're like, well, you already have your evidence, so this can't really, like, prejudice you. There was a lot more in this. They do mention a couple of Lyman's own spoliation cases in here. And the big thing here is, like, Lively is just basing this all on, like, speculation and conjecture. But the big thing here is she's asking for, like, 2 forms of sanctions. One is kind of this, like, nuclear sanction that's, like, would preclude them from providing evidence on these things as kind of punishment for the spoliation. And that's, like, really drastic. And the other one is, like, to say there's just, like, an adverse inference / a presumption from this, that they intentionally deleted it because they used Signal and because it was on auto delete. Because she's alleging that they knew that they had a duty to preserve. I don't really think that they necessarily did have a duty to preserve. I'm not seeing that. But precluding them from, like, arguing about the smear campaign and precluding evidence, that is drastic. And that is the other sanction. That is just, like, insane. I think that the judge is going to do what he did on the birthing video and say there was no intent here, and definitely allow them to make their arguments in the courtroom. I mean, I think this whole thing is ridiculous, but after seeing what he did with the birthing video, I definitely don't think she's getting that. But I guess you never know.